What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at this fully loaded 2026 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X. Now this one's finished in tactical green with a $48,700 MSRP. However, we have a ton of Nismo upgrades like a lift kit, the full front and rear suspension. You're also gonna see the Beadlock capable wheels, frame sliders, and much more. This one has $6,000 worth of options, so we're looking at around $55,000. So with that said, let's get into the last old school midsize truck. Underneath the hood of the 2026 Nissan Frontier, you're gonna get that naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6. This is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, as well as a 4-wheel drive system. We get 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. The overall curb weight is 4,900 pounds, payload is 1,200 pounds. It also has a 21.2 gallon fuel tank, so you can expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city with 20 out on the highway, and max towing capacity is 6,700 pounds. The overall length is 210 inches with a wheelbase at 126. Width is 73, height is 72 inches, and then ground clearance is 7.7 inches. However, this truck actually has the Nismo off-road high-performance front and rear suspension system, which gives you up to a 2-inch lift kit. You're gonna see the piggyback reservoirs in rear, and we even have the Nismo forged upper control arms up front. Moving on to the styling with the 2026 Frontier Pro 4X. Has a cool look overall. We're gonna get these LED headlights with the running lights to them, a dark housing, silver trim in the upper portion of the grille. You have a forward-facing camera, tons of openings to provide cooling to the engine, and then some black plastic throughout the center portion. We have LED fog lights down below that, some silver trim, orange recovery hooks, and then a nice small skid plate in the front section. Has a good look overall, nothing too flamboyant, but just a clean look for a mid-sized truck. We're gonna get some sharp body lines throughout the hood, fading towards the windshield, some trim in that front bumper, and then plastic color for the side fenders. And then we have these Beadlock capable Nismo wheels. They're 17-inch diameter with a rugged BF Goodrich tire to them. Has a nice aggressive style. We also have the Nismo frame sliders with a black powder coated look. One sharp body line throughout the door panel, and then body colored door handles as well as mirror caps. We have the camera integrated underneath that, and then all black trim for the windows with a small sunroof up above. For the overall side profile, this is going to have the shorter bed, so it has a really good proportional look with the full 4-door style. And then coming around to the bed side, we have that nice Pro 4X logo, and this tactical green is a very pearly metallic color. Looks really nice in the sunlight. Down below, we have the chrome tip, part of the Nismo catback exhaust, so you're going to get a good deep sound to this V6. Body colored bumper caps, some plastic trim, all of your parking sensors, trailer hitch receiver, and all the plugs. And then Frontier is stamped into the tailgate. We have the Pro 4X logo, your Nissan logo as well. And then we have a lock as well as a camera. I'll go ahead and open this. It does have a soft open. You're gonna get a spray and bed liner. And then we have these nice large aluminum rails all throughout it. You can adjust those mounting points, and then we have a couple other tie down hooks and power outlets throughout the bed. There's lighting in here, and then the tailgate itself doesn't weigh too much. You can very easily close it up. But overall, the Frontier is still a great looking truck. It's been around for a couple years now in this configuration, but can't go wrong with how it looks. We have our simple Nissan key fob, remote start, lock and unlock. And if I go ahead and lock the truck, you can just go right up to it, press this button, and we can unlock it. This one's gonna get a charcoal leather interior with all this orange accents. And then for the door panel, we have this soft touch padded material throughout the center. All of your controls, mirror controls, orange accent as well, and then a padded armrest. We have storage all throughout it, a Fender audio system, and then power controls for the front seats. You're gonna get this cool kind of carbon fiber style design to it. And we have the smooth as well as some perforations with the orange accents, and then we have that Pro 4X name. Got more of that accent going up towards the headrest, and then we have a 4-spoke steering wheel with black leather and more orange accents. And then now inside the 2026 Frontier Pro 4X, keep my foot on the brake and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster, we're going to get an analog tach as well as your speedometer, and then a small screen right in the center. So we can scroll through a couple different things, seeing driver's settings, You can change a few more items and view everything. You also have the start-stop you can view, tire pressure, and then all sorts of safety info. So you got a nice batch of information that's gonna pop up on this screen. Again, very simple and old school the way it's set up. Got a couple gauges too, four-wheel drive settings as well. On the steering wheel, we have controls on the left side for the screen, audio, voice commands, and then we have cruise control on the right with your forward pacing. We have the windshield wiper stalk on the right side, and then turn signals and headlights on the left. And then down below, we have our tow mode, interior lighting, some sensor volume, plugs, cargo lamp, locking rear differential. We're gonna see the air vent right here, a little bit harder plastics up above, as well as a storage area. And then we have this cool soft touch material right on the airbag cover with the contrast stitching. You're gonna see a lockable glove box with a ton of space. And then for this updated screen, it is very large, so Apple CarPlay will be nice and full screen. However, most of the screen is still the way it used to be, which is a little interesting. We're gonna see all your basic info right through here, menu, other items you can configure. We have the map, nice full screen for this section of the screen. More icons like that, phone integration, and all of that. So we go ahead and pop it into reverse. You're gonna see that top-down view, as well as a nice backup camera. Graphics are okay, a little fuzzy, and then we can just pop it back into park. If you just tap the camera icon, again, it'll just pop right up with that. We have our forward view as well. Nice shortcut to that side. We have volume, a couple other shortcuts, tuning and scrolling, and then the Frontier name is written out. All the climate controls are right down here. We have dual zone temperature, fan speed, mode, all of that. And then four-wheel drive is gonna be sitting over here. We also have heated seats, heated steering wheel, parking sensors and plugs, and then storage down below with these nice grab handles. You have more of the orange accents all throughout everything. And then we're gonna get cup holders, wireless phone charging, and our drive modes are located down here. You're gonna see more of the padding, stitching, and then a decent size down below. One last look at the seats. I do like the textures to them. It's a cool look overall. Then we have the manual sliding rear glass. We have our manual sliding sunshade, but then our controls right here, where we can easily open that up. We're gonna see dome lights in the top here, as well as a nice large sunglass holder, and then a simple rear view mirror with garage door buttons underneath. Taking a look at the back seat space now, grabbing the handle and open it up. Door panel's finished off just like we see up front with the padding and the soft touch. You have some storage down below. And then for these seats, we're gonna get all the same materials, the cool stitching, and the orange pattern. This can seat 3 people, and with a rear-facing car seat, I can still actually fit in that front seat. It's a little cramped, of course. And then right in the center, we can pull this down, and we do have a armrest with extra cup holders. We also have a lever right here we can pull, and then the seat is individual. We have the subwoofer over on this side, and then a nice storage area all underneath the other side. That's a great touch if you keep the car seat over here, although you wouldn't really be able to fit here too well if you're my height, but nice to see all of that. And then we have a latch right here where you can gain access into some extra cargo space in the back. You're also gonna get just a couple plugs down below and then storage behind the front seat. So onto the back seat now, sitting in here. I'm 5'11". I will say I think the Frontier is about the smallest mid-size truck. The Ford Ranger by far is the best. It is really nice here. The Tacoma's all right, same with the GM offering. This is super straight up. I do have headroom. My knees just barely fit behind myself, but the seat itself feels very low and the backrest is just so straight up. So again, it's a little on the cramp side. None of the mid-sizes are amazing, aside from the Ford Ranger, I would say. But overall, in a pinch, it works good enough. But again, these are small, mid-sized trucks. So family friendliness is all right. It's good enough if you need it. All right, so setting off now in the Frontier. So obviously can't go too crazy off-roading, but at least a little look at this bump with this driveway. Cameras are a little fuzzy, so it's kind of just to give you a decent idea, obviously, but still gives you a little bit of a look around. The suspension is pretty good for hitting little bumps. We have off-roaded with these in the past, and they're actually pretty capable. Just stock, they do need a lift. So this kit, based on what the info says, if you lift this up to about a 2-inch lift, you're gonna be pretty capable for a lot of obstacles. And given we have just a normal engine and transmission, the whole 4-wheel drive system, it is a very capable off-roader. Just needs that extra ground clearance from the stock configuration. First thing you're gonna notice driving this, the steering is really heavy compared to every other truck in this class. Especially slow speeds, you really gotta muscle it a little bit. However, what that does translate to is a more dynamic drive day to day. Hitting big bumps like that, the suspension absorbs it really well. The only thing you're hearing rattling is just the car seat. We do have this squished a little bit when we were sitting in it the other day. But overall, it does tackle bumps really nicely. And then getting up and going, pedal to the floor. It's not bad. You definitely have to wait for the engine to build up speed to get moving. When you compare this to the turbocharged trucks that are in this segment, similar price point, they're a lot more punchy because you have the low end instant torque. So this engine, you definitely have to use the whole rev range and get to redline to get all the power out of it. I do like how more zippy the 4-cylinder turbos honestly feel than this, but this is still just as fast overall, big picture. The Nismo exhaust sounds really good. You know, my brother had an 07 Tacoma and then a 2017 Tacoma. Both of them with exhausts are very similar to this truck. So it's kind of nice to be in a new truck that honestly is very similar to a 20-year-old Tacoma in the sense of it's just an old school simple truck. Has that same V6 for the most part, the same tone. It's just a nice basic powertrain to drive. Overall driving, once you're up and cruising, it's pretty comfortable. These off-road tires, you do hear just slightly, and it does translate to a little bit of input in the steering wheel when you're out on the highway, above 70 particularly. So not exactly the setup if you're just daily driving it, obviously. I did use this truck to haul some heavy items in the back, even a whole new door for my house. As expected, it does that easily, and the built-in hooks are all nice to use. Visibility is all pretty good too. Really no complaints there. Every truck is nice over the right and left shoulder. So it's a good, simple truck. I wouldn't say there's anything crazy fancy or flamboyant about it, but this is the truck for the buyer who isn't into all these new 4-cylinders, the giant tablet screens, and the really expensive price tags. While this one does have some expensive options, you know, you can get into a Frontier under 50 grand very well equipped. So it's a very cost-effective truck to just get something simple, something you've been familiar with for 20 years, especially with the drivetrain layout. Build quality is pretty good. Overall, everything is pretty durable feeling. All right, so moving on to my honest thoughts with this Nissan Frontier. So I gotta say, it's nice to see the accessories available for this, doing a nice 2-inch lift basically from your dealer or factory, the Beadlock capable wheels, the rock sliders, exhaust sounds good. So it's a nice package. For 6 grand, obviously you can do things on the aftermarket, but you know, this is something that's warranted, done by Nissan. So a lot of dealers and different brands offer something like that. Seems to be similar price across the board. So nice to see Nissan doing that. So overall, using this truck this week, it's been a great week to have a pickup truck. I had to sell some giant metal lifts that weighed like several hundred pounds, easy enough to load them into the bed of this truck, strap them down. So that was nice to use this. And then we have to replace our door in the back of our house. Went down yesterday to the store, 100-mile round trip, got a whole new door in the bed. So it's been a useful truck as expected, like any mid-size truck would be. Our child slept in the back the entire way down. So it's a decent enough family truck. Only things, since there's no rear air vents, obviously, you know, make sure you hop in the truck, fire it up, get the AC going, and you'll be good to go. Driving it, the thing with the Frontier is it's not really new, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. These days, you know, the Tacoma's still the #1 selling midsize truck. It's just super popular. People love it. However, there is a huge amount of people who are not a fan of the 4-cylinder. That is the only option. And a lot of people just love the old Tacoma that had a V6. A lot of people have always loved the Frontiers that had a V6. And when you look at the competition, General Motors, 4-cylinders, Ford, 4-cylinders. If you get the 6-cylinder, it's a twin turbo, which is fast. It's a sweet engine. But there's a lot of people who just don't want turbocharged trucks. They want a simple, naturally aspirated 6-cylinder or 8-cylinder, depending on the size. So Nissan is giving you a simple, brand new truck. It's really not much different than our old 07 Tacoma. So for the last 20 years, you know, the Frontier is still the same kind of truck from 2 generations ago, which again, isn't going to appeal to everybody who wants the latest and greatest tech, but it's going to appeal to a lot of people who want simplicity, reliability, robust, something that they know they can depend on for 10 years, work on it themselves, and just have no issues. So the Frontier is that only option. Obviously, there's the Gladiator and the Ridgeline, which aren't really the same level of truck this is. Those are a very unique type of midsize truck. But for a normal midsize truck, the Frontier is the only one that is old school and simple. The heavy steering is nice when you're moving, just because it gives you a bit more feedback than, you know, very basic electronic power steering. But if you're like in and out of parking spaces and driveways, it gets a little cumbersome just turning it a million times left and right with the weight to it. Doesn't mean you're a weakling if you think it's heavy. It's just when you compare it to the competition, it is noticeably heavier than everything else. And in that circumstance, you definitely can realize that. But then when we get up and go, V6 sounds good. If it's already in second gear, it's not all that peppy off the line. So if you're gonna floor it, you gotta step on it when you're still in first gear. The thing I like about the turbos is they're just more punchy. So this one you definitely have to hammer it, let it downshift, and use the whole engine. So again, it's a different driving dynamic than a turbo, just because you don't have that instant torque. But again, it gives you just smooth acceleration. I haven't had any complaints getting on the highway, driving around town. Again, this is just a simple, old school, mid-sized truck in a world where everything's going 4-cylinder. So it's going to appeal to a lot of people, I think, and really can't argue with that. It is a little on the small side. I know some people have said that they think this back seat is bigger than the competition. I'm using this for the family. My wife's been in the back. We've had the car seat. I've hopped in the back. We've mixed and matched all the seats. I've done this in the Ranger and the Tacomas. This is more cramped. It simply is. It's a smaller back seat by far than the rest. Nothing can touch the Ranger. That thing is definitely really, really impressive. But this is a little on the small side. Even the bed space is a little on the small side. But it's got the old school character that a lot of people seem to like. That is it then. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.